Welcome to episode 98 of Rebirth Revolution. My name is Melissa Olson. This week I saw a couple of things that have helped me gauge where we are in the rebirth process. The first one was a social media exchange between two people that I know. One is a highly respected doctor with many years of practice in the medical field. I know her because she has kids the same age as my own who went to the same school. The person who was challenging her was a male who was the age of one of my sons who also went to the same school. The doctor has spent her life helping and educating others, including my own grandson. She is amazing. The person who was picking a social media fight with her was a guy who, how can I say this kindly, was extremely challenged by the educational process. The post that started the exchange was the doctor encouraging people to get vaccinated. Where we live, the numbers are now heading in the wrong direction, as they are in many places. Don't even get me started on that. So, anyways, she kindly recommends that people might want to get vaccinated. The replies from the young man are all about how terrible the vaccines are, how dangerous they are, and why people should not get them. He is basically telling her that she doesn't understand how science works and is misleading people. The audacity. I will venture a guess that this guy never passed any science class that he was enrolled in. He has done zilch to care for others, yet he believes that he knows more than the doctor does, and he is happy to let her know that. This is where we are. I'm not entirely sure how we got here. What is it that makes him think that he knows more than she does? What gives him the sense of entitlement that would lead to trying to take her down on social media? How dare he, of such limited knowledge, speak to her in this way? This is not a unique situation on social media by any means. It just turns out that in this case, I knew both of the participants. It occurred to me that the doctor has spent her lifetime working hard to achieve her level of education and status. She has done the work, and in return she receives lots of praise and admiration. People rely on her knowledge and think highly of her. People thank her for using that hard-earned knowledge to make their lives better. The young man who tried to take her down is someone who, I would imagine, has never been praised for his academic achievements. He was not that type of student. He was all testosterone and chaos. I doubt that anyone has ever told him that he is smart or that what he thinks matters. Until now. He has now tapped into the groups who have made anti-mask and anti-vax their cause. The crazier and more untethered the post he can come up with, the better. He has found a way to succeed in the world of those who push misinformation. Every stupid post he made was met with a post from another knucklehead who was praising him. It had to feel good. Maybe this is all just one of those human frailties. I bet the doctor spent less time thinking about all the replies that agreed with her and thanked her for her work than she did on the idiotic replies that the misinformed guy posted. Whereas all he needed was for one person to agree with him, to feel good about what he was doing. I suspect that he doesn't get a lot of admiration and praise in his everyday life. So now he is getting his fix from those who cheer on his spreading of misinformation. The doctor gets her affirmations after having done decades of really tough work. He is able to get affirmations for having done no work at all. As humans, we have that frailty of needing to be affirmed. We will get it one way or another. Some go down the path of earning praise through hard work and dedication. Others will get it wherever they can. The value of the source is meaningless. They just want praise. They want to experience the feeling of being held in high esteem. They want to be seen as smart. They want to be important. Yet they lack the capacity and or the work ethic to experience that in a way that moves the collective story forward. So they move it backwards. It's like that old saying that children just want attention. They don't really care if it's positive or negative attention. They just want attention. So as we head back up to a fourth spike in cases and deaths during this pandemic, we are stuck with this problem. How do we deal with those who are needy in a way that is destructive to us all? It can't be with information, because if he were to accept the truth, he would have to go back to being insignificant. He would go back to being ignored by most people in the culture. He would go back to a world where he has no achievements to speak of, let alone knowledge that others would find valuable. He will lose all of his new-earned status. His self-esteem, which has been built up by being the purveyor of misinformation, will have to take a huge hit. And as a human, he is wired to make sure that never happens. The other post that jumped out at me this week was a TikTok about a mother coloring her child's hair blue. In this video, the mother explains that she thought she knew her child when the child was born and has since learned more about the child's life as it has unfolded. So one day, the child tells the mother that they have a different name and a different gender than the one that the mother knew from birth. The mother accepted this new information about the soul who was her child and was fully ready to let their life continue to unfold in a fashion that she probably couldn't have imagined when their journey began. She unconditionally loves her child and accepts whatever direction they choose. The replies to this were skewed because they blocked and deleted those who couldn't deal with the subject matter. But what gave me hope is the number of replies that were of people crying and expressing love for both of these humans. People may have witnessed their first true example of unconditional love between a parent and child. It is indeed rare. Parents start dreaming of who their child will grow up to be before they even arrive on the planet. The dreams we have for them are patchworks of what we view success in life to be. We never dream up challenges or difficulties. Our imaginary children always fit in better than we did and are more successful. They have heightened versions of our attributes and none of our frailties. We may picture how they look and how they act and how the world will receive them. It's a very rosy picture. But that is not how this school works. We get the child who chose us. They chose us because we have some of the attributes that will serve their mission in this lifetime, along with some of the frailties that they are coming here to overcome. Each child chooses the physicality that fits their mission. Each child chooses their challenges. While it may seem disconcerting to some of the elders that we have so many young people who have challenges that they have not seen before and have a hard time understanding, it really is an indication that we, as a culture, are ready for more challenging coursework. The souls who come here with less need to adhere to gender or sexual expression norms, along with those who are seen as neuroatypical, are really just souls who are taking on new work, harder courses. They are not damaged or less than. They are boldly going into the unknown, the untested. They have a very real value to the collective and will play a huge role in our greatest work. Remember, we are here to strip away everything that is not love. Stripping away the meaningless has always been a huge challenge. We like to construct all these rules and regulations about how people must be to be part of society. We decide how people are to speak, think, and act. We then reject everything and everyone who live outside the societal norms. That allays our fears. The visceral reaction that people had to the video was that they were led to that place where they remembered that none of this extraneous stuff matters. They remembered the space of pure, unadulterated love that they have experienced when not in this particularly cruel school. It doesn't matter in the least what the gender of your child is. It doesn't matter in the least what the name of your child is. It doesn't matter what color their hair is or what clothes they choose to wear. The only thing that truly matters is the love between this mother and her child. The rest of it is truly meaningless. The high level of love that they share is the kind that allows them both to be who they are and to do what they came here to do. That is the highest level of love, and it's rare. I think what brought so many people to tears is that they realize that they are lacking that level of love in their lives. They realize that if they were brave enough to redefine themselves, they would lose most of the people who currently profess to love them. They have not experienced the kind of love that is limitless while here in this school. Our job in the Rebirth is to strip away all that does not matter. This can only be done when our ingrained assumptions are challenged. I love to look at posts by Jonathan Van Ness of Queer Eye fame. He dresses in a way that makes the creaky wheels in my head turn. I can actually feel the struggle my brain experiences while trying to process photos of Jonathan. He wears a combination of feminine and masculine expressions that challenge my brain to make sense of the image. The images he presents are challenging the very notions that have been fed into my brain since birth. These pictures don't make sense in the light of what I've been taught. That is why I love them. I want my brain to break apart and create new neural pathways that accept the juxtaposition of frills and a beard. I want to use his images to destroy my ridiculous notions about what is and is not acceptable, because none of that ever truly mattered. Those ridiculous notions did nothing more than take up space in my brain and create the conditions for me to judge others and keep them in predefined boxes. I'm no longer interested in that. We don't need that nonsense any longer. It does not serve us. We can be thrilled about all the souls in our school who will facilitate our growth through the bravery they show in smashing norms. It is our job to support them in their work of making this a better place. We are living in chaotic times. That's the good news. We never had the option in this school of blindly drifting into a new, better world. We understood that before we decided to come here, to this place, in this time. We came here to experience the chaos, the discord, and the discomfort. It is within this turmoil that we hash out the changes that need to be made. We are here to tackle our own challenges, along with the challenges that arise from living in a world where everyone has free will. It is easy to get discouraged when you see all the discord, but there are also some glimmers of light along the way. As the number of people who are dealing with severe COVID is now skewing towards those who are unvaccinated, we are probably going to have to go back inside and wait for them to learn their lessons in the ways that they will. Those who are anti-vax, anti-mask, may only be moved by the experiences of those who formerly shared their point of view. It may take someone whose thinking aligned with their own, dying or getting very sick, before they are moved to rethink this. Then again, they may not rethink it at all. They have the free will to make that choice. If they are all in on their position, their lesson may include losing loved ones or dying themselves. That is the delivery of their lesson. We can't change that for them. We can't strip them of their free will, even though it endangers everyone else. Grown adults will make choices that damage and destroy innocent children. That is frustrating, but it is a reminder that you can only change yourself. You can only make the best choices for yourself and do what needs to be done to protect yourself and your loved ones while they struggle to figure this out. It may not seem fair, but it is how the system works. Our greatest hope is that those who get the lesson will get it quickly and will then realize that they have been lied to. Hopefully that realization leads them to seek information elsewhere, like listening to the doctor instead of the knuckleheads. That move would change the game for all of us. Thanks for returning for another week of Rebirth Revolution. I hope it brings you some peace, and I hope it challenges you a bit. You can always let me know how you're doing by emailing rebirthrev@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. We can be found on all the podcast apps, with full episodes playing on YouTube and on our Facebook page. It helps others find us when you rate and review the episodes. Thanks. Until next week, pay attention to the external input that challenges you. Figure out why it makes you uncomfortable. Get vaccinated if you haven't already, and wear a mask when needed. Remember, you are loved exactly as much as every other person on the planet, not 1 ounce more or 1 ounce less. Stay strong and safe and open to change.